Welcome. In the last session, I started discussing the characters of Chlorophyceae. We'll continue the characters of Chlorophyceae. Coming to its cell wall, so I told you that the cell wall is composed of two layers. So it is composed of two layers. Okay, so there is an outer layer and there is an inner layer. So there is a presence of an outer layer and inner layer. So this outer layer is composed of pectose and inner layer is made up of cellulose. So outer layer is pectose and inner layer is cellulose. Then coming to flagella. So the flagella may be 2 to 8 in number and they will be equal and apical. So flagella will be 2 to 8 equal and apical. So let's see in case of Chlamydomonas. So we can see this is Chlamydomonas and here are flagella. Okay, so below that we find two contractile vacuoles. Okay, and this is called its apical papilla and these two are flagella. Okay, and then right, so here there is a nucleus. This is nucleus and here we may see the pyrenoid. So this is the pyrenoid present in the cytoplasm. Okay, and here we can see the presence of chloroplast and mitochondria. So this is mitochondrium and this one is chloroplast. Okay, and here there is a structure what I call it eye spot. So this is how we see the structure in case of Chlamydomonas. In case of Chlamydomonas. Now coming to its reproduction. So how it undergoes reproduction. So the reproduction, we see all the three types. One, vegetative reproduction, then asexual mode of reproduction, and then sexual mode of reproduction. So we have three modes of reproduction, vegetative, asexual and sexual mode of reproduction. So coming to this vegetative mode of reproduction, it will be by fragmentation, and also by formation of different spores, Okay, so that will be the mode of vegetative reproduction in case of the Chlorophyceae. And coming to the mode of asexual reproduction. So coming to asexual mode of reproduction. So here the asexual mode of reproduction will be by formation of flagellated juice pores. Juice pores, that is flagellated juice pores, are produced in special structures called juice sporangia. So they are produced in juice sporangia. Okay, so these flagellated zoospores will be having similar structure where I have shown in case of Chlamydomonas. So okay, so this is how we see. So this is in a case of a flagellated zoospore. The next, coming to sexual mode of reproduction. So this sexual mode of reproduction will be by any of the methods they follow. In some cases it will be isogamous, in some cases it is anisogamous, and in some cases it will be oogamous. Okay, so let's see some examples of this Chlorophyceae, the Chlamydomonas. So this is a unicellular form. Chlamydomonas is a unicellular form. Then Volvox, this is a colonial form. Okay, and next one, Eulothrix. So there is Eulothrix. So this is filamentous. Then Spirogyra is also filamentous. So that one is also filamentous form. And lastly, we have Cara. Resembles land plants in having stem-like, okay, and root-like, leaf-like structures. Right, so that's all about the characters of Chlorophyceae. So next we'll see about Phaeophyceae. So the next class, Phaeophyceae. So coming to this, the members of Phaeophyceae, they are commonly called brown algae. So commonly called brown algae. Then, so they are mostly found in marine as well as freshwater habitats. So found in marine water, so they are aquatic, and they are also present in fresh waters, marine waters, fresh waters, and okay, rarely. So they are present in case of I'm sorry, here I'll just mention, so marine and brackish waters, marine and brackish waters, and rarely in fresh waters. So found in marine waters, brackish waters, and rarely in fresh waters. And okay, so they range from, okay, filamentous form like ectocarpus. So this ectocarpus is a simple, okay, branched filamentous form. So this is a simple branched filamentous form. So it's a simple branched filamentous form. So two a very big plants, right, called kelps. So to kelps. So kelps are very big. So these are profusely branched. That means a lot of branching we see in this case. Okay, so profusely branched forms like right kelps. I'll mention profusely branched. Okay, then these kelps actually can grow up to a height of 100 meters. So they can grow 100 meters in height. Okay, so they live in shallow waters. The next one, they possess coming to photosynthetic pigments. Coming to photosynthetic pigments, the photosynthetic pigments will be chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. So they have chlorophyll A and chlorophyll C. Along with that, they also have carotenoids. So chlorophyll A, C, and they also have carotenoids. Okay, of course these carotenoids will be the one that consists of actually carotenes and xanthophylls. Okay, so one example of this xanthophyle is fucoxanthin. So here it consists of chlorophyll A, C, and carotenoids. So which I mean in this case it includes actually the fucoxanthins. So it includes fucoxanthins. Okay, and the color actually depends upon the amount of fucoxanthin present in them. So the amount of fucoxanthin present in them will actually give its coloration. Okay, I'll just again rewrite. So this example for xanthophyll is fucoxanthin. The reserve food. So here the reserve food will be in the form of laminarin and mannitol. So they are a source of carbohydrates. Okay, so they are actually polysaccharides. The laminarin, of course, polysaccharides which come under carbohydrates. Okay, so here the laminarin will be C10. Okay, so H5. Okay, and it will be, I'm sorry, H10O5. uh, okay, an idea. So this is a laminarin, and whereas this one mannitol will be C6H14. Okay, O6. So this is the reserve food materials present in case of brown algae, Phaeophyceae. Then coming to cell wall. So this is composed of, okay, so it is composed of cellulose and an outer it is covered by, that cellulose is covered by algin. So one it is uh, cellulose and another one is algin. So the outer cellulose is covered by algin. So when we see, so this is the cell wall, and that cell wall is covered by algin. So this is algin substance. So I'm just mentioning it. So this is algin, and the innermost one is cellulose. Right. So here there will be coating. Of course, that gelatinous coating is made by algin. Okay, so this forms gelatinous coating. So algin forms the gelatinous coating. Then, okay, so here the cytoplasm, it consists of I can say the protoplast. So the protoplast, it consists of plastids. It consists of plastids. Okay, so and then there will be a centrally located vacuole. So here I'll just mention. So there is a centrally located vacuole. So this is vacuole, and we can see here these are, okay, plastids, or I can say a chloroplast, okay, and mitochondria, and here is the nucleus. So this is the centrally located vacuole, okay, and this is mitochondria, and so these are different cell organelles present in the protoplasm. So it consists of plastids, then it consists of nucleus, vacuoles, etc. Right. Then coming to the plant body, the plant body is actually divided into three parts. So they are frond. So they are divided into three parts. One, frond. The second one, stipe, and the third one is holdfast. So these are the three parts, and out of this, the frond is leaf-like structure. So it is leaf-like structure, and this is the one actually performs photosynthesis. So this one performs photosynthesis, whereas the stipe, this one connects frond and holdfast. Frond and holdfast. Okay, and holdfast is a structure. Okay, so that has a function like roots. Okay, and this will help in attaching it to the substratum. So attaching the whole plant to a substratum, so that function is performed by holdfast. So let's see a picture of this. So here this is the holdfast, and this is the stipe, and so is the leaf-like structure. Right, so this is the leaf-like structure. So this is holdfast. This is a stipe. I can call it stalk, and this is the frond. In some cases, the fronds will have air bladder. Okay, in some species, fronds have air bladders. So they have air bladders. So these air bladders will actually help in giving them buoyancy, which means ability to float. So they will be floating very close to the surface of the water, where they get maximum sunlight for the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so in some species, fronds have air bladders that give it the buoyancy, like we see in case of fucus. So in the species of fucus, we find this air bladder. Okay, then coming to the part of reproduction in these Phaeophyceae, that is brown algae. So reproduction. So these reproduce by, again, the three methods. There will be vegetative reproduction, then asexual reproduction, and then sexual mode of reproduction. So totally vegetative mode of reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction, and sexual mode of reproduction. And we know the vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. It will be by fragmentation. And coming to asexual mode of reproduction, this will be by the production of a biflagellate. So here also we see by formation of biflagellate zoospores. So zoospores are biflagellate, which means they are capable of moving. So these are biflagellate zoospores. So they are motile. Then coming to the mode of sexual reproduction, the sexual reproduction will be in this case isogamous, just like how we have seen in Chlorophyceae, and then it may be the anisogamous or bi-oogamous. So isogamous, anisogamous or oogamous, and I told you already the oogamous is advanced when compared with the isogamous. So here the similar size gametes, if they unite, so that is anisogamous. Dissimilar gametes, okay, and then that will be anisogamous. And in oogamous, one motile and one non-motile gametes, okay, if they fuse, then the condition becomes oogamous, right? So these gametes which are produced will be pyriform. So gametes are pyriform, which means pear shaped. So they are pear shaped. Already I have shown you how in case of they almost resemble like a chlamydomonas. So here the pear shaped so this is the pear shape. Okay, and they are flagellated. So this is how we see the gametes shape. So they are pyriform, that is pear shaped gametes are present. And of course in this case actually these two flagella are laterally arranged. So they are actually laterally arranged. So which means that if this is the, you know, the juice spore, you will find one flagella attached on this side and another one on here. So this is how you see this, what we call the laterally arranged flagella. So we find laterally arranged flagella in case of this Phaeophyceae group. Examples will include ectocarpus, okay, and then laminaria, sargassum. Okay, so this laminaria is actually the kelp. It's commonly called kelp, laminaria, and then dictyota, fucus, etc. are some examples of this group Phaeophyceae. Then let's look at the last group of this algae, that is Rhodophyceae. We'll see about Rhodophyceae. Of this group Rhodophyceae, they are commonly called red algae. So commonly called red algae. And here the red coloration is due to presence of a red pigment. So why they are red in color? The red in color, okay, is due to presence of a red colored pigment, due to presence of a red colored pigment, and that red colored pigment is called R-phycoerythrin. R-phycoerythrin. So it's called R-phycoerythrin. So here R stands for red fluorescence. Then some live in fresh waters, okay, and whereas a majority live in brackish waters. So majority of members belonging to this group, they live in brackish waters and also in marine waters, whereas some live in fresh waters. So So some of them live in fresh waters. Then, okay, coming to the pigments, so that is photosynthetic pigments. Pigments. So the pigments in this group, it will include chlorophyll A, belongs to chlorophyll A, chlorophyll D, and also the phycoerythrin. Okay, so it is due to presence of that. Okay, they have a red coloration. Next, coming to cell wall. So when coming to the cell wall, so this is composed of, okay, cellulose, and so it also has pectin, and one more substance will be present along with that is polysulfate, okay, esters. So polysulfate esters are also present. Cellulose, pectin, and polysulfate esters are actually together. They make up the cell wall in case of okay, in this group Rhodophyceae. Then the next, they are also I mean, they occur in well lighted regions. So they are seen in well lighted regions, and also we see them in low light regions. Occur in well lighted regions means they are present very close to the surface of the water. So the more they are close to the surface of the water, the more they get light, and the more they live deep into the ocean, the less the light they get. So they occur in well lighted regions and also in low lighted regions. So they are also present in low lighted regions. So low lighted regions are deep in oceans, whereas well lighted regions are close to surface of waters. So close to surface of waters they are present. Then when we see here their body, okay, so the body is the thallus, and that thallus is multicellular. So thallus is multicellular, okay, and some very few of them will have a complex body organization. Okay, so some have complex body uh, organization. Then coming to reserve food in them, the reserve food materials in these plants are Floridian starch. So it's called Floridian starch. So the reserve food materials is a Floridian starch, and this is actually similar to amylopectin and glycogen in its structure. Then coming to the mode of reproduction, so here also we see same mode of reproduction. All the three modes of reproductions: vegetative reproduction, then asexual reproduction, and also we see a sexual mode of reproduction. Coming to vegetative mode of reproduction, as usual, it is by the process of fragmentation. And asexual mode of reproduction will be by formation of non-motile, okay, spores, by formation of non-motile spores. So in earlier cases we have seen formation of motile spores, and they are zoospores. So they are biflagellated zoospores and they are motile. Okay, but in this case we see the formation of non-motile spores, and even the sexual reproduction is by, okay, by union of non-motile gametes is by union of non-motile gametes. Okay, so of course in this case the sexual reproduction is oogamous type of sexual reproduction. Okay, and once the fertilization is completed, the zygote will develop into embryo, and that will be with the complex all those will be complex post fertilization events will take place. And coming to examples, Polysyphonia, okay, is an example. Then Gracilaria, then Gelidium, and then Porphyra, okay, etc. are some examples of this group, Rhodophyceae. Okay, so that's about briefly about the three classes. Then lastly we will see about the economic and ecological importance of algae. Right, so the next one we shall see about uh, biological and economic importance of algae. Biological and economic importance of algae. So here half of total carbon dioxide, okay, so half of carbon dioxide is fixed on earth by the algae in the process of photosynthesis. So here I hope you already know what is meaning of carbon dioxide fixation. So half of carbon dioxide is fixed by algae, okay, in the process of photosynthesis. So whatever that carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere, so that carbon dioxide, so half of that total carbon dioxide will be used by these algae in preparing food materials, of course in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so we know plants take up carbon dioxide and they synthesize carbohydrates in the process of photosynthesis, and the process we call it carbon dioxide fixation. Then okay, so they also form food cycles. So they form part of okay, food cycles. They form part of food cycles in aquatic environment. So many animals living okay in waters aquatic environment, they need to directly or indirectly depend on these algae growing in water. So that is they form the part of food cycles in aquatic environment. So they act there as primary producers. Okay, so in that case they are primary producers. So producers are all plants who synthesize food materials by a process of photosynthesis. Okay, so here all those producers, okay, they are I'm mentioning them primary producers, so will be food for the other organisms. Okay, and those other organisms may depend directly or indirectly on these algae. The next one, there are okay around 70 species of marine algae. So there are around 17 species of marine algae which are a source of food, so for human beings. So 70 species of marine algae are used as food by humans. So they are used as food by humans. Okay, like for example Porphyra. So it is used as food. Then sargassum, then laminaria, etc. are used by humans as a source of food. Then certain brown and red algae. Okay, so brown algae, not all. So okay, certain brown algae and red algae. So they produce hydrocolloids. So they produce okay, the substances called hydrocolloids. So here hydrocolloids are actually water holding substances. Water holding substances. Okay, and these hydrocolloids are present in their cell walls, okay, from which we extract and use in okay various purposes. For various purposes we use them. So certain brown algae and red algae, they have okay hydrocolloids, so they produce hydrocolloids, okay, which will be present in their cell walls. Of course, in large amounts we will extract them, and these hydrocolloids are water holding substances. Okay, like for example, algin. Okay, and another one is carrageen. So algin and carrageen are hydrocolloid substances. So this is obtained from brown algae, and this is from red algae. So the carrageen is obtained from red algae, and both of these substances are commercially used. Okay, let's see some of them here. Okay, so this has stabilizers and texturing agents in food industry. Then next one, and another substance, agar. So this is obtained from species like Gelidium and Gracilaria. Is obtained from Gelidium and Gracilaria. Okay, and this agar is used in laboratories for growing bacteria. So this can be used in okay laboratories for growing bacteria or microorganisms or microbes. So some microbes can be grown in the laboratory by using this agar. So it acts as a nutrient medium in that case. Okay, then this agar is also used in preparation of ice creams and jellies, used in preparation of ice creams and jellies also. Okay, and then there are certain species, chlorella and spirulina. So chlorella and spirulina, so these two are used by space travelers. So they are used by space travelers because this will serve as a carbohydrate and protein supplement for them. So they are used by these space travelers. So chlorella and spirulina. Okay, right. So I just mentioned, so this chlorella spirulina are actually rich in proteins. Besides, of course, carbohydrates are also present, but they are rich in proteins. Okay, so that's all about the algal group. I will end today's session. So in the next session, we'll see about bryophytes and pteridophytes.